Hello and welcome back to Hello Danbury. I'm Carter Smith, and in the studio today we have two very special guest stars, Raisa Kareem and Francesca Sacamano, who just released a new book based on drowning prevention, based on an incident that happened to them a couple summers ago when Raisa saves Fran's life in a drowning accident. Good morning, gals. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. All right, I want to get right into this. So, Raisa, can you tell me about the incident that happened a couple summers ago? What happened? Give me the step-by-step. I love these hero stories.
Well, we were on a boat and we were just having a good time. People were drinking. Fran was one of them. I was not drinking that day, and something happened and the boat went boom over, and Fran had fell overboard over the boat. And I got very much so in my adrenaline mode, and I grabbed the nearest life jacket towards me and I dived in feet first, and it was very scary because the water was very harsh. It was coming at me from different ends, and I could see Fran, and I was trying to, assure her, tell her I was coming over. And I swam as fast as I could and as hard as I could, and I grabbed her right when she was sinking in. And I took a life jacket and I was able to put it over her, and we were able to get ourselves back on the boat, and we applied CPR, and they called 911, our friends who were on the boat with us. And as soon as they got here, we both went to the hospital because there's very much so different bacterias and different diseases that we could get from the water, and we wanted to make sure that we were okay. And we are okay, thank God. It was quite a scary experience, but luckily we all came out of it safe.
Awesome. Well, you're very, very brave, and how inspiring. So you guys say in this book that you wrote it to help others prevent drowning. Can you tell me some of your best tips, maybe Fran, on best tips and safety guides to prevent drowning?
Okay, so this book was mainly written for this reason. So we just, we wanted to express our, our thoughts about this. So 100% when you're on a boat, or near any body of water, you should have a kit filled with different things to help prevent drowning. And one of the main things would be a life jacket. So if you're around a large body of water, whether that's on a boat or near a beach or something, you really should wear a life jacket. I unfortunately was not wearing one. I didn't think it was fashionable enough, but now I will never go away from a body of water without being in a life jacket, because it can save a life.
Awesome. All right, so according to stopdrowning.org, about the number one cause of death for children ages 1 to 4 is drowning. Do you have any tips for parents on what they should be vigilant for when they're having a fun day at the beach or going out on their boat?
My main tip is just to keep an eye out on your children. It's really hard when you're in a big group. If you're at a family gathering or if you're at the beach, it's kind of tricky sometimes to keep an eye out, but it is so important because especially with the little ones, they can just slip away within seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and adding on to that, I really say that you should stay within like an arm's length away from your kids if you are in the water with them, and I would be in the water with them. And people think that, the floaties and all that, that's great, but it's really just watching your kids and also knowing what you can do. So like I would say, know how to swim and get those lessons in, and make sure your kids know how to swim too, so they can sort of God forbid anything happens, be able to help themselves in some scenarios.
Right. Okay, final question. Do you have a beach or boat day checklist for parents or others to prevent drowning?
Yes. One of our number one things, like we said before, is a life jacket, because you never know. Yeah. Also, something people really don't think about is bringing a rope with you, because if the other person who's on the boat cannot, unfortunately, swim, they'd be able to throw it and kind of pull in the person. Raisa, do you have any other things that we mentioned in our book about gear?
Yes, I would really have a first aid kit for emergencies. It's always, you never know what could happen. People could get cuts, people could get sick, and it's always important to have something that you can use, God forbid, to help somebody.
Well, girls, thank you so much for being here on this Monday morning. You truly are very brave, and this book is extremely informative. If you want to buy their book, they're being sold exclusively on Amazon.com and Target. We're going to take a quick break, but please come on back. After the break, we're going to be interviewing John Oliver and his feud with the mayor of Danbury. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
listen, I'm running late and I got to bring up the bands, but what I'm going to do is this is being recorded and you know that you have to critique at least one other person
Yes.
from the other groups. So I will be placing this recording up. I'll send you all the instructions, okay?
Awesome.
Excellent job.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Excellent. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Henry, Richard, and
Hey.
Shiloh. You're not
there
ready.
you go. My goodness.
There you
Hello,
are.
gentlemen.
Everybody, and I'm
Okay.
like, what's going on?
Wait, hold on. So let me just do my paperwork.
Sorry,
You guys,
Professor. I think I blew up your email.
where's Tommy and Connor?
So we're talking on the document. They're confused with which link they should click. I
The
think
most
they're
Tell
on
them
the
the
other
one
one.
I just sent, the recent
Yeah, that's
email.
what I told them.
All right, I'll wait a minute. We have a minute. So Shiloh, you are my
The host
yeah?
the most. Yes.
You are. So here's what we're going to do. You've got between 3 and 5 minutes.
Okay.
You are in control of, when you want to end it this time, but I will cut you guys off at 5. All right,
Okay.
so be aware of that. Richard, do we have any other light? I mean, I love the chiaroscuro lighting, but
Yeah, let me see if I can't get to. I'm just plugged in right now. Let me see if I can't.
Henry, your lighting's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what,
It's
Henry?
like a face.
Henry, so I can see your beautiful face. Henry, can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Okay. I'm looking up at you. Can you either raise the webcam or you slouch down a bit?
Yeah, it's my laptop. So I'll just
Okay,
kinda
so
get
do what you
on
have
the
to
floor.
do. Shiloh, look at Shiloh. He is perfectly framed.
I
Is
have
this
one
better?
of those like home office setups where I can raise the desk and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Is this better?
He's set.
Yeah.
He's set. Richard's taking a walk. Hold
Is
on.
this better, Professor?
Yes, Henry, yes. Oh, you can see it, right? Okay. Okay, Richard, your mic is off. There you go.
Got it.
Very good. Okay, so did you have a chance to catch the drowning?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you can
Very
see what's going on here. You've each got, he's moving. You've each got your names underneath. And I'm going to be putting up a banner. And depending on the different views, that banner is going to change. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Tommy's in the
2000s.
backstage.
I'm sorry.
It says the banner says bands 2000s. That's just one of them, right?
Right. So we're going to be
Yeah, that's
talking
just
about how musical tastes have shaped over time based off of different 4 decades that we're going to be discussing. So like 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah,
90s,
right.
2000s. Each person's going to specialize on a decade, and they're going to discuss how that decade somehow influenced today's musical taste of 2021.
Okay.
That's kind of what I came up with. I know I told you bands at the time, but I was just kind of like just trying to get something submitted so I could have
What
more
would
time
you
to
rather?
work with it.
Okay, what would you rather call it?
Musical taste. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
We don't have time to think.
situation. But Tommy and Connor are on backstage right
I'm
now.
the producer. You're going to get what you get. Hold on.
That's fine.
We'll
The
make it
discussion
work.
is what matters most. You know what I mean?
Where'd it go? Damn this. Drowning bands. I just did it. Hold on.
You could just title it musical taste too. I
Yeah.
think.
It's going to look like that.
Sure.
Okay. Very good. Get rid of that. And so, Shiloh, you ready?
Yeah, I have a timer right here, so just let me know when I can start it.
Awesome. Okay.
Wait, so
I'm gonna
Tommy and
take
Connor are on
myself
backstage.
out, and you guys are going to be up. Shiloh.
Professor?
Are we starting
guys.
now?
Are we?
I don't know. The other two are in backstage.
You're on.
Okay.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shiloh. I will be your host with the most today on the Musical Lowdown. We have four special guests today: Tommy, Richard, Connor, and Henry. These four musical analysts specialize in different decades of music. And as you all know, music is one of humanity's most influential creations. It's shaped entire decades, cultures, and musical tastes abroad the entire world. Today we'll be discussing which decade one of our analysts thinks has shaped the musical taste today here in 2021. So today we will start off with Richard, who is known for his expertise in the 1980s. You know, Richard, what do you think is today's most popular opinion, in your opinion, and why do you think your decade is responsible?
In my opinion, the most influential genre of music is pop music. And I think that some of the bands responsible, and some of the musical artists responsible, well, we could talk all day about, like famous bands, like,
Of course.
like we could talk about Madonna. She played during the Super Bowl in 2012, I believe, and that was well after she peaked in the 80s. So she had lasting cultural influence. We have
Interesting.
bands like Guns N' Roses.
I'm going to move on with the topic of pop. Henry, you are also a specialist in the 2000s era music, and you want to talk about pop music. So why do you think pop music is still relevant in today's society?
Hey, Shao, thank you. So I've been a musician myself for the past 20 years, and I've been studying the theory behind music. And one thing that we can all agree on is that the simpler the catcher. So
Right.
today's music, it's very simple when they just have the same progression of chords, the 4-chord progression, as we call it. And so that kind of sticks to the person's mind, so they're just always thinking about that tune, thinking about the melody. And the more you think, and especially in today's world with technology, the more you think, the more you speak about, the more people are going to like it, the more it's going to be in everyone's mind. So
Excellently put.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Henry.
course.
We're going to move to Connor next. He's a specialist in 1990s music. And of course, we can't forget about the grungy, awesome era of the 1990s. So Connor, please talk to us about how all those musical groups in the 90s are a precursor for today's modern hip hop craze.
So in the 90s, I'm sure you know, like one of the most famous groups was Nirvana, and they mostly sang about younger people's problems. So oftentimes that was very depressing and sad, and people got depressed oftentimes, and then there was a big change needed. So then groups like the Blowfish and Hootie, they came and they gave the happier side of rock. And soon after, in the mid 90s, I'm sure all you guys know her name, Britney Spears. That was kind of she started the bubblegum rap, bubblegum pop era. And then after Dr. Dre and Tupac, they came, they influenced millions. So I think Nirvana is mostly responsible for that, because if people didn't want to keep listening to, depressing music, then we wouldn't be where we are today.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because if you look back to the 80s, you had bands like Queen and Michael Jackson that were very high and upbeat.
Yeah.
So the dichotomy between the two is very interesting, how musical tastes radically altered during that time period.
We have one more genre to talk about. I want to give Tommy some time to talk about the 1970s. We all know the 1970s is the groovy, funky era. I love stuff like Lonnie Liston Smith and all that, all those other great soulful musical artists. Tommy, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the era of disco and funk and how it's probably affected today's musical taste and artists?
Yeah, for sure. One of them I'd like to point out is Curtis Mayfield. He's a influential soul artist, especially during this time. He injected social commentary into popular music, crafted albums, that continue to inspire artists today. So especially during this time of political unrest, sometimes we need music to express that. So I think that especially influenced us a lot.
Excellently put. Thank you, Tommy. We have about 20 seconds left. Does anybody else want to bring up, something that they think is the absolute core of the reason why music is the way it is today?
I just wanted to point out that it doesn't matter which deck here we are in, they all follow the same thing. The simpler, the better. Of course, we have some different ones that go with really hard, but that's the core of why things are famous.
I agree.
Thank you so much, guys. Well, I appreciate you listening in. I'm your host, and I hope to see you again next time on the Lowdown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, great.
My dog joined the discussion. Sorry about that, guys. They stare out the window behind
No,
me.
I saw you like.
I don't hit it.
So I've got the next group ready and waiting. So thank you very much. I will be sending you an email. You know that you've got to review, critique the other people, right? At least one person in every group. So this is being recorded. I will post it for you, send you an email, and
We need to have a critique of just one person in another group or the entire
Yes.
group.
one
submitted to
person
Blackboard?
in each group.
Oh, in each group. So I'm going to send like 4 or 5 different.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank
And you can submit it to Blackboard. I have the criteria already written up in the announcements, but I will repeat that.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All
Have a
Thank
good
you
day,
very
guys.
much.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Calvin, Sam, and Josh. Calvin, looking good. Josh, I need Brandon? No.
Sam,
Did Brandon switch groups?
we had Sam in our group.
Wait, can you speak a little louder?
We had Sam in our group. Sam Cap.
I know. I don't see him, but I see Brandon. I know. Where's Sam?
Okay. Yeah, Brandon. I do know where Sam is.
Brandon's in the Super Bowl. He's in the last one. Sam is pretty anal about stuff, so I'm surprised he's not here.
Oh, I'm talking to him. We're messaging, so he knows.
Oh, yeah,
that we're
thanks.
up.
Okay,
I told
let's
him
give
to
him a minute.
refresh the page. Yeah.
Okay. Is my video coming through choppy? It looks choppy on the computer.
Who asked me that? You know, there's a 10-second delay on this. It's a long delay.
Calvin.
Who just asked me about the
10-second delay.
choppiness?
Okay.
It looks good to me.
Calvin did. Calvin did.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Calvin?
Now I
you
can.
he-
Yeah,
you
no,
hear me?
there's like I said, there's a long delay. Let me check my
Yeah.
email. Nope.
Okay.
Wait.
I think it says Sam.
This is out of character.
Stage.
Just a little bit.
Is
Hold
that
on.
or?
Let me send him an email. Okay, I'm going to wait a minute for him. I don't see him. Well, we can. Calvin, can you raise your webcam up a little bit or you sink down a little bit so I'm looking straight to your face? Right now, I'm looking up a bit.
Raise it up from books. Give me a moment.
Yeah, of course. Josh is framed nicely.
How is this?
Better, but now you've got too much headroom. Yeah, you're getting better. It's getting better. Yeah.
Is that good? Still too much?
Yeah, I know this is crazy because of the delay, but right now, that's better. Just don't chop your head off. Okay, give me a little less headroom, Cal.
I have vertical video on a little less
Yep,
headroom.
that's what you
Okay.
got.
I think I might need to.
Poor
put
Sam.
it
You
on
know,
books again.
Sam's freaking out right now, I can tell you. Oh my God. Let me see. Let me check the mail one more time.
He says he's backstage. That's where he's
Yeah,
telling
no, I
me,
can
but-
see the backstage people. Sam!
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Sam.
Hi.
Okay.
Ah, there
All
he
right, guys.
is.
So let's rock on here. Calvin, you're my host, correct? Did I take
Correct.
myself out? No, I'm on. Calvin, can you hear me?
No, you're still well.
I'm muted?
Yes, I can
No,
hear you.
I'm-
Can you hear me?
That was Sam, correct?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So listen, guys. So you have between 3 and 5 minutes. I will stop you at 5, okay? Because we got to go to the next 2 groups. So anyway, it's your show.
Okay.
Where'd Josh go?
I'm on video chat stuff.
Are you
Josh,
going to give us a countdown?
Josh,
I had to
showtime, buddy.
I had to tell my family to be quiet. They're outside my room.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, so I'm going to go live as soon as I disappear. You're live.
I think we're good.
You're live. You're live.
All right, I'll start us off.
Start it.
I'm not the host, but I'll introduce myself. My name is Joshua,
Oh,
and
no,
I am
no,
one of the
hi.
guests here.
Just hold.
All right, and our host is here with us now.
Good morning, all. My name is Calvin. Joining me today on the virtual sports staff, Sam and Josh. Gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Today in baseball, we'll be discussing the unwritten rules of the game. I'll start with you. Would you please give us an explanation about these rules? What are the rules and what is the purpose of them?
Some of these rules, since we only have a few minutes, we're going to specifically talk about one of the rules, but these are just the unwritten rules of baseball, as in things that kind of traditions and just the culture of the game. The one we're going to focus on is a retaliation from a pitcher hitting a batter. I believe that there is no place for this in the game, and that it causes great injuries. And there's been examples from Mike Piazza in 2000 missing an all-star game due to the injury, to Dickie Thon back in '84 getting hit, being partially blinded. That's just my stance. I believe that it's a bad representation for the children who want to look up to these athletes and want to be a pro star one day as well.
To your point, Josh, I agree that it
Thank
does hurt, and it could cause some injury to be thrown at intentionally. But as a baseball player, if you don't want to be thrown at intentionally, then you shouldn't cause any issues with the other team. So as a pitcher, if I see another teammate from an opposing team intentionally injure one of my teammates or mock one of my teammates, then I have every right to throw at them intentionally. And number 2, as a young kid growing up and playing the game, if you don't want to be hit with a baseball, then you shouldn't be playing baseball, because first of all, it happens. Like, if you're not being thrown at intentionally, it still happens. You're still going to be hit because pitchers make mistakes. As a pitcher, like, I'll release a fastball inside every once in a while, and I'll hit a batter. It happens. So if you don't want to be hit, then you can't be scared to be standing in the batter's box. And sure, it hurts, but pitchers also know this, and they also know that it hurts. So if they want to intentionally throw at a batter, there's often times where you'll see a pitcher throwing inside but not hitting him, or throwing behind the hitter to give him a warning or a little retaliation.
So one common complaint I've heard about drilling involves the target. The player who commits the rule violation is not the person who's drilled, normally who's on deck, who's batted box with field. This is the most common for rules violations involving celebrating after a home run or a bat flip. Josh, what do you think about this?
I believe that, it's part of the game, let the players play, but the only negative from this is it shows a little bit of unsportsmanlike. It could get the other team rallied up, which can cause, who knows, more intentional beamings and other dangerous plays. That's just from an audience point of view. I'd like to hear what an experienced ball player would like to say about that.
Sure. Well, you should be allowed to celebrate in the game. You get caught up in the moment if your team hits a home run or you get a big out or something. You should be allowed to celebrate. There shouldn't be any retaliation against that. That happens if you hit a walk-off. The teams all huddle around the home plate, and that happens. But the only retaliation should come if the opposing team intentionally injures a player from your team or they mock a player and it's excessive. If it's just a celebration, then I don't think any other player should have a problem with it, because that's part of the game, and part of being competitive in a sport is celebrating and being caught up in the moment, and I don't see a problem with that.
That's a very good point.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me here today. Unfortunately, we only have so much time. The place of the unwritten rules is still especially. Do you have any opinion on these rules? Please join us on our social media and let us know. Until next time, I have been Calvin Savoya, joined here with Sam and Josh. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day.
Thank you. Okay. And same thing to you guys. I will post this video so that you can do your critiques. Yes?
Awesome.
And I'll send you all the information. Thank you so much.
Hey, good job,
Thank
guys.
you.
Okay. So who's up? Vivian, Jillian,
Should we leave this now?
Jillian, Jacob. Hey, Jillian and Jacob, I have not heard from Vivian, nor did she submit her prep. Do you know anything I don't know?
I thought she told us that she did submit it.
That she what?
I was told that she submitted it.
I think she's very confused. Have you talked to her?
Yeah, we talked to her today, and she said that she submitted everything. Does she have the email to enter this group right now?
Yep.
I can text her and see.
Would you please do that, Jillian?
Yeah, her last message, she did say that it says the studio was full. Should I tell her?
Oh, okay. So listen, guys, you got to go away. Yeah, StreamYard only takes up to 10 people. So Richard, Henry, Tommy, Brandon, go away. I'll get rid of you. I'm kicking you out, Brandon. Henry, I'm kicking you out. I got Jillian. Who's on this? Jillian, Jake, and Vivian. Okay, there's room now. I'm going to kick out Tommy. And Richard. Okay, give her a second. Is it snowing yet?
It looks like it, yeah.
Because they closed I'm in my office at school and they closed it down. And I live 60 miles from here.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a fun drive.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to stop around 4, but
Oh.
yeah.
I've got a class at 12:30 from here. Hold on. Okay, Ms. Viv, where are you? Madeline. Hey, Madeline, can you hear me? There's Vivian. Yeah, Madeline, we're running a little late. Can you come back after 5 minutes? Thank you. Hi, Vivian.
Hi, sorry.
Okay, no, everything's totally effed up today. So, okay, so I have been escorting. Vivian, you didn't submit your preparation. You didn't submit it the way it's supposed to be submitted.
I thought we had to email and there was nothing on board. You said I just.
No. So let's use this as a learning moment. Go back. I sent, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different emails, plus all of this is in announcements. So go back and look at those. Anytime you guys get confused, just go to announcements. I will put it up there as well as send you an email. And things are confusing now. We're in person, online, snow, no snow. Okay, very good. This is meditation. And I'm going to show you something. The lower thirds are going to come up like that. So don't be down here. Make sure that you are up here. You all look good to me. Very good. Who's my host?
Me.
Vivian, you're my host. Okay, so you have between 3 and 5 minutes. It's your call. And I will stop you at 5. Because that's all the time we have. So anyway, you all look good. Very good. Do a good job. As soon as I disappear, you are live.
Hi, I'm Vivian Jimenez, and today on Wellness Watch, we'll be learning what is meditation. Today in the studio, I have Dr. Jillian Collins, psychologist at WCSU, and Professor of Holistic Health, Jacob Schultz. Hi guys, how are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Of course, of course. So with COVID, many people have been forced into isolation, and many have occupied meditation. So how do you meditate?
So there's multiple ways that a person can meditate. It can be done through more of like a still method, which those would be either guided meditation. We have mantra meditation, mindful meditation. Those are all when you sit with yourself and you talk yourself mentally through like a series of just mental like phrases or something that you want to like create like a positive affirmation in your life. Then there's the ones that require more movement, which include Qigong, Tai Chi, transcendental meditation, and then yoga, which those are all combining mental images, mental affirmations with movements, postures, and stretching.
Wow. So what are the benefits of meditation?
So there are both like physical and mental benefits of meditation. So starting with some of the more mental ones, it creates like a new perspective on stressful situations. It creates this management of stress in your life. It increases your self-awareness. It allows you to focus on the present and reduce negative emotions. Now, some of the physical ones, they can help reduce anxiety, asthma. It can help reduce chronic pain, depression, heart disease, IBS, blood pressure, sleep problems, and even tension headaches. So talking to a doctor about what form of meditation and if meditation would work for you with these ailments would definitely be something I would recommend, but it can help you both physically and mentally.
And Dr. Schultz, with dealing with college students, what have you seen?
Well, meditation is particularly interesting for college students as we are seeing an increase in students being interested in meditation recently. In previous years, past 5-10 years or so, it hasn't really been something that was too talked about, but there's definitely an uptick of it now. We're seeing student groups on campuses that are advocating for meditation. We're seeing classes related to meditation. And overall, it's something that really seems to be improving student health, mentally and both physically, as Dr. Collins mentioned. It's something that seems to be really, really positive in terms of the effect that it's having on the student body. Right now, COVID-19 and all of the related restrictions are making it a little bit more difficult for students to do things in group settings. So this sort of individualistic meditation that students are doing is helping them focus on their schoolwork and helping them make sure that they don't have any aggravated I guess you could say symptoms of mental or physical problems during the pandemic. A lot of students are struggling with depression and other things like that because of the isolation, and this is something that seems to really be helping.
Wow, I'm so amazed. Like with meditation, I feel like you don't do anything. Like how can you meditate and not do anything?
Well, I think it's all in the mindfulness of remembering why you're doing it. So if you're meditating to create an affirmation of something you want to do in your life versus if you're creating meditation just to create awareness with yourself and to just relax, that's going to all come with the intention that you put into it. So, if you're trying to relax, you might want to look into guided meditation, which is that would be forming mental images of situations and places that you'd want to be in. And if you're looking to create a new energy to put into your life and, really get that going, mantra meditation would be a great way to do that, where you silently are repeating a word or a phrase that you want to include in your life and create more of. So it would really just depend on what you're looking to do and what your goals are with meditation. And that would kind of create the space of how you're going to do it.
So is that, I would say, one of the keys, but is there also, a physical key for meditation? Like, do I have to stand up? Do I have to be laying down?
So there's multiple elements of meditation, both physical and mental. So it doesn't really matter if you're sitting or standing. Typically when I meditate, I do sit, but the main elements are just focusing your attention, relaxing your breathing. Being in a quiet setting is really crucial. You don't want distractions. You want to just be you in your headspace, focusing on what you need to focus on. And then really just a comfortable position, whatever works for you. Like I said, I sit, but if you prefer standing, some people do prefer that. And then just remember to have an open attitude as you go into it.
Now, Dr.
And being in a
Oh, my apologies.
No, you're fine.
Now, Dr. Conlon, just out of curiosity, maybe do you think you could explain a little bit more sort of the positive energy piece to our audience just to help them understand that? Because sometimes that's something that does confuse people a little bit.
So when it comes to having like a positive energy surrounding you, anything that you say to yourself is going to affect your outlook, whether you realize it or not. So if you're sitting there with negative thoughts in your head, telling yourself that, you're too stressed, you're not good enough, that's going to affect you in more ways than you know. Whereas when you're putting out like a different energy, so you're saying affirmations like, I can do this, or I am good enough, you are creating that like phrase. It's becoming solidified within your mental state. And so everything that you do, you're going to put that phrase into instead of I'm not good enough, I'm not going to be able to do this. You're going to go into a new situation and you're going to be like, yeah, like I got this, I'm good enough. So it just creates this mental awareness with yourself and that you are fully capable of doing what you need to do and that you are enough.
That's great. And what we've seen.
What I was going to ask.
Oh, no. You go. No worries.
I was going to ask you, Dr. Schultz, what you have seen with colleges, like what could you relate it to?
Sure. I was actually just about to comment on that. It's a great segue before we probably do have to finish up here, unfortunately. But what I've seen with a lot of students who struggle with issues like body positivity is a big one, right? A lot of students, both male and female, who struggle with their self-image. It's been incredibly helpful for them to do the kind of positive affirming that Dr. Conlon was actually just talking about, which is kind of why I wanted her to go a little bit more in depth with it, because a lot of students feel daily when they look in the mirror, they don't feel satisfied with themselves. They don't feel happy with the way they look. So them actually putting energy and focusing on the idea that they do look good, that they should feel good about themselves, it actually genuinely does help their mental state.
I agree. I would want to talk about more about self-image because I feel like many, not even just college students, have that trouble with self-image, and bringing it to light and having that awareness. I feel like we can then change that quota to have a better connection with ourselves. I'm definitely going to take up some meditation, especially with this isolation. I'm going to need it. So thank you guys so much for coming on and talking about meditation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, so same thing to you. I got to scoot on over and get that last group in. I will post this video. I'll send you emails. I'll put it in announcements, tell you where this video is, because you have to critique one person out of every group, right? So please, please, please read the emails, read the announcements. Okay? Hopefully I'll see you in person next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Brandon. Hey, Brandon.
How's it going?
Okay, so here's who should be in this one. Maddie, I saw Maddie. I told her to come back. And Adam. Adam was in there. I don't see him. Where are they?
They texted me saying they're gonna come back because I knew you were late. So,
Well, they have to come back because I'm kind of in a strange situation here. The campus is closed and I got to get out of here, but I have a class. I got to do a class online after this. It's just really funky. So you just texted them, right?
yeah.
Okay, so listen to me. You need to frame yourself better. Can you see? Yep.
Like that.
Yeah, but give me just a little less headroom. That, okay, so when you're, yes, right there. So make yourself comfortable sitting there.
All right, I'm gonna try to.
Yeah. Okay, here's Adam. Hey, Adam. Can you hear me?
Dr. Griston. Yep,
Oh,
I can hear you.
and I'm going to bring in Maddie. Hi, Maddie.
Hi.
All right, guys, so let's frame ourselves. Brandon looks good. Maddie, the top of your head is cut off. And Adam, we're looking up you. I want to look at you. So either raise the webcam or you get lower.
Okay. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, looking good, Madeline. Looking good. Yep, keep going, keep going. Can you bring the camera a little closer to your head?
Better?
And now bring it, yeah, I'm getting a medium shot of you. I'm really looking for a close-up.
That's as close as a computer can get without falling out.
Okay, so can you slink down a little or no?
I can move back. See if that's any better.
No, see, I want you, see how intimate Brandon and Maddie and I look?
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
No, now I'm getting more of your ceiling. Yeah, there you go. There you
Better?
go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better. Don't move. Okay. All right. So here we go. We are the Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys, you all got a chance to see a little bit of the other live streams, yeah?
Mhm.
So no, you can see your names up there. I'm going to be putting up lower thirds as the broadcast goes on. My host is Adam, correct?
No, I'm
Oh, Brandon is my host. Okay.
Brandon.
So Brandon, you've got between 3 and 5 minutes.
okay.
I will let you, it's going to be your call, whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep time on my end, and hopefully you will end by 5.
Okay.
I'll try not to stop you guys. You all look good. Okay. As soon as I disappear, you are live.
Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Brandon Chavaria. I'm here with Madeline and Adam, and here we're talking about the Super Bowl 55. And Adam, can I just get the game results?
Yeah. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9. And much of the game was dominated by Tampa Bay's pass and rush defense. They clamped Patrick Mahomes under 200 yards, and they intercepted him 2 or 3 times. Also, there were a couple notable events as well. First, there was the oldest coach to win the Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay coach Bruce Arians, the first female referee in the Super Bowl, and the most touchdowns by a pair of players in Super Bowl history between Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski with 14.
Incredible performance by them. Madeline, can we talk about the commercials and the halftime performance? How do you feel?
Yeah, the commercials this year were not up to par, as a lot of people have voiced their opinions on them, saying that a lot of them didn't make sense and a lot of them were very short. There were some notable ones, including the Jeep commercial, where they talked about the smallest church in the middle of the United States of America. It was actually sponsored by Bruce Springsteen, who appeared in the commercial. The halftime show was really well done. The host, The Weeknd, actually spent $7 million of his own money to make it exactly how he wanted it to, and tried to keep it as entertaining for people who, couldn't be in the stands this year.
And how do you guys feel about the healthcare workers who are in the stands? I think that was a great opportunity for them.
I think it was wonderful the fact that 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers got to go. I think that was amazing. It was kind of a nice way to give back to everything that happened this year.
And Adam, how do you feel about the first female referee and just how the referees really kind of handled the game?
Well, I think the first female referee in the Super Bowl, it's definitely some big progress for the NFL as well as sports in general. I mean, seeing however many people watch the Super Bowl, see a female referee the Super Bowl, I mean, that's a pretty big deal, especially in our country today. I mean, it definitely shows a shift in how our country has viewed sports and what types of people can get into them. So I think it's definitely a big deal.
And how do you think the refereeing was handled throughout the game?
In my opinion, I think the refereeing was a bit much, especially with Tyrann Mathieu, with his tauntings and a couple of those, especially when he and Brady went at it up close. I was a bit much on the flag and all that, especially with what happened behind the scenes from what we know now. And it definitely, especially a couple holding and pass interference calls late in the game, definitely could have switched momentum. So they definitely need to watch out for calls a bit more in Super Bowl.
Yeah, I do believe they played a big role in the game and how the game was played.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's all for today, guys. Thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it, Adam. Appreciate it, Madeline.
You got it.
Thank
Have a good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you did it. Good. So, yeah, we did it.
Good
So
job.
I will post it. You will review one person in every group. I will send you further emails. I want to thank you very much. Make sure you read the announcements. I've been scaring people for the last hour because people just look, guys, I get scared when people don't respond to the emails or respond to the announcements. Or last night, I'm going to bed and I'm like, oh, shoot, only half of them did the prep work, right? So you got to stay on top because we never know day to day if it's going to be snow, no snow, virtual, on ground.
Understand.
Very good. Okay. I will see you in person, I hope, next Monday.
Thank
Fingers
you.
crossed.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye. Have a good one.
Yay. Okay. There's no more Super Bowl.